Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the IndieZone. My name is Kathy. I wanted to bring to your attention a few features that we offer here on our YouTube channel that you may not be aware of. One is on the podcast and the playlist pages, the episodes of the Idaho versus Kohberger podcast that I have been presenting for the better part of a year on my podcast platform on Spotify, which then went over to Listen Notes, Apple, Amazon, and several other platforms where you may be listening to podcasts at. A couple of days ago, I populated the podcast right here on the YouTube channel so you can listen to our presentations, which began with episode 1 and is now at 365. And episode number 1 is page number 1 of the Affidavit of Probable Cause. The last episode dealt with the subpoena ducis tecum that dropped on December 26th, 2024. 5 minutes or less episodes. We go over everything that has been published in chronological order on the court docket in Idaho versus Kohberger. Secondly, on the live events page, we're hosting our very first live event this weekend. It is the first time I'm ever doing anything like this, and this dates back to when I did my podcast and even predating when it was converted to Idaho versus Kohberger in the spring. Prior to that time, I did podcasts on independent music, arts, books, businesses. Never did a live event. We'll be doing it for the first time here this weekend. I hope that you'll be able to join us live, if not on repeat. And third, on the community page, over the course of the past month or so, we've been offering pop quizzes on the court documents because we do like to emphasize what the facts are of the case that are known to us, and albeit many documents are under seal. But there is a lot of information that can be gleaned from the public records, and it is from the public records that we will, on a weekly basis now, provide a couple of quizzes on the case to just check our knowledge of the case and test it. This week we have 2 quiz items. One deals with the grand jury proceedings and the other deals with suspect vehicle 1. I want to give a warning now, spoiler alert, if you haven't taken the quiz and you'd like to, please go ahead and take these 2. They're the 2 newest items on the community page as of right now, and then come back for the answers because I'm going to give the answers to both right now. The first one is entitled A Quiz to Test Our Knowledge of the Facts of the Case. Detective Payne's December 29th, 2022 PCA in Idaho versus Kohberger describes a vehicle referred to as suspect vehicle 1. An official image of suspect vehicle 1 was released to the public by the Moscow Police Department and or the state of Idaho, and the proposed answers are: in the Be on the Lookout, released pre-arrest, in response to a discovery request published on the docket, in all pre-arrest press releases discussing the investigation, in an official image of suspect vehicle 1 has never been released to the public. And the answer that so far 79% of the people who took the quiz got right is the final answer. An official image of suspect vehicle 1 has never been released to the public. There's been a lot of discourse in mainstream media and by various podcasters that go over, and in some cases, a lot of detail, the Linda Lane footage, and promoting the idea that suspect vehicle 1 is one of the vehicles that's seen in that Linda Lane footage There's also been a lot of conversation regarding a very fuzzy image of a photograph that was supposedly taken at a gas station that may be suspect vehicle 1. Neither of those items were released. They are not official releases of either the Moscow Police Department or the state of Idaho. The answer is that an official image of suspect vehicle 1 has never been released to the public as of today. Now, the second question relates to the state grand jury proceedings that occurred in May of 2023. And it asks, the name of the judge who presided over the state grand jury proceedings that culminated with the indictment against Mr. Kohberger is? The answers are Judge Victoria Olds, Judge G. Rich Bevan, Judge Sunil Ramelingham, and Judge J. Gaskell. We've only had a few responses so far because this pop quiz literally just went up within the hour. But the correct answer that 80% of the people that did take the quiz so far is Judge J. Gaskell. And that answer can be found in the court documents of July 30th, 2023. We went over this in episode 117 of the IndieZone podcast, and it addressed a stipulation between the state of Idaho and the defense relative to the release of grand jury proceedings. There was a proposed order that both sides agreed to should be entered. It was an agreed proposed order, and it had the name of the judge who presided over the grand jury as being Judge Gaskell. I want to thank you very much for your support of the channel, and your likes, your comments, and your subscriptions are very, very much appreciated. I hope to see you this weekend at our live. Until then, this is Kathy. Thank you for joining us here today.